Are your food choices helping or harming your thyroid health? Let's delve into the world of hypothyroidism, a condition that affects millions globally. The food we consume can either be a friend or foe to our thyroid, with certain choices potentially interfering with thyroid function and exacerbating symptoms. Understanding the relationship between diet and thyroid health is key in managing this condition. For those struggling with hypothyroidism, it's crucial to know which foods to avoid. So let's explore these dietary pitfalls together. First on our list of foods to avoid is soy. This common ingredient, found in everything from tofu to soy milk, can have a significant impact on thyroid function. You see, soy contains substances called goitrogens, which can interfere with the thyroid's ability to use iodine correctly. This can lead to an enlarged thyroid and, in some cases, hypothyroidism. Moreover, if you're already dealing with hypothyroidism and taking medication for it, consuming soy can complicate matters further. Soy has been found to interfere with the body's absorption of thyroid medication, potentially reducing its effectiveness. Now, it's important to understand that moderation is key in any diet. However, when it comes to soy and hypothyroidism, it's generally best to err on the side of caution. While soy can provide health benefits such as protein and heart-healthy fats for some, for those with hypothyroidism, it might be best to steer clear. Next, we need to talk about cruciferous vegetables. These are a family of veggies that include popular choices like broccoli, cauliflower, and kale. Delicious and nutritious, right? Well, not so fast. For those with hypothyroidism, these vegetables might not be the best choice. Why so? They're filled with naturally occurring compounds called goitrogens. These goitrogens have a unique talent. They can interfere with thyroid function. They achieve this by blocking your thyroid from using iodine correctly, a key element your thyroid needs to produce hormones. Now, this doesn't mean you have to banish these vegetables from your diet entirely. Cooking can help to deactivate a lot of these goitrogens, making these vegetables safer for consumption. But it's important to remember that everyone's body responds differently, and what works for one might not work for another. So remember, if you have hypothyroidism, you might want to limit your intake of cruciferous vegetables. Gluten is another food component that those with hypothyroidism might want to avoid. Found in wheat, barley, and rye, gluten has been linked to autoimmune thyroid disorders. To understand why, let's delve a bit into the science. The structure of gluten is similar to that of the thyroid gland. So when you ingest gluten, your immune system, already on high alert due to hypothyroidism, may mistakenly attack your thyroid gland, thinking it's fighting off a foreign invader. This can exacerbate your symptoms and make it harder for your thyroid to function properly. On the other hand, adopting a gluten-free diet can potentially help manage these symptoms. Removing gluten from your diet reduces the chances of your immune system mistaking your thyroid for an enemy. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution, but it has been beneficial for many. So if you're dealing with hypothyroidism, it might be worth considering a gluten-free diet. Let's not forget about sugary foods. When we think of sugar, we often associate it with a sweet treat or a quick energy boost. However, sugar is also a leading player in the game of inflammation. When we consume an excessive amount of sugar, it can lead to an inflammatory response in our bodies. This inflammation may worsen the symptoms of hypothyroidism, making it even more challenging to manage this condition. Now let's take a moment to understand why this happens. Sugar triggers the release of inflammatory messengers called cytokines. These cytokines can interfere with thyroid function, causing a flare-up of hypothyroid symptoms. This is why a balanced diet is so crucial. By limiting your sugar intake, you're not only helping to control inflammation, but also supporting your overall health. Incorporating whole, nutrient-dense foods into your diet and avoiding excess sugar can help manage your symptoms and maintain a healthy thyroid function. Reducing your sugar intake can be a big step towards managing your hypothyroidism symptoms. To recap, here are the foods you might want to avoid if you have hypothyroidism. We started off by discussing how soy-based foods can interfere with your body's ability to absorb thyroid medication. These foods, while praised for their health benefits in certain diets, could potentially exacerbate hypothyroid symptoms if consumed in large amounts. So, it might be a good idea to limit your intake of tofu, soy milk, and other soy-based products, particularly around the time you take your medication. Next, we dove into the world of cruciferous vegetables. While these veggies like broccoli, cauliflower, and kale are typically stars in a healthy diet, they contain compounds that can interfere with thyroid function. Now, this doesn't mean you should eliminate them entirely from your diet, but moderation is key. Then we tackled the topic of gluten. Some people with hypothyroidism may also have celiac disease or gluten intolerance, which can further complicate their condition. If you've noticed any adverse reactions after consuming foods like bread, pasta, or cereals, it might be worth discussing a potential gluten sensitivity with your doctor. And finally, we talked about sugary foods. Excess sugar doesn't do any favors to our overall health, and for those with hypothyroidism, it can contribute to weight gain and other health issues. Cutting down on sweet treats and processed foods can help manage your symptoms and improve your overall health. But remember, these are not hard and fast rules. Everyone's body reacts differently to different foods. While some may find relief by reducing their intake of these foods, others may not notice a difference. The goal is to find a balanced diet that works for you and helps manage your symptoms. Above all, it's important to consult with your healthcare provider before making any major changes to your diet. They can provide personalized advice based on your medical history and current condition. Remember, everyone is different. What works for one person may not work for another. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making any major changes to your diet.